Trader's Edge with your host,
Money Masters, and all you treasure hunters out there. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, coming to you live from the TFNN Television and Radio Network. For all you folks listening to us on the West Coast, thanks so much for doing that. And if you're catching the archive up in New Hampshire, we sure do appreciate that. And everyone else, you can be watching us live on TigerTV. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com. You can click on TigerTV. You'll be able to see my screens live. I absolutely am going to teach you something today. If you're watching us or you're listening to us on maybe your mobile device, you can, as long as you're not driving, you can go ahead over to the homepage of TFNN over on the right-hand side. You'll see an area there that's cordoned off by some red dots, if you will. Click on that, and you'll have our new app to our live stream video that'll be on your iPad, your iPhone, your Google device, and absolutely incredible. It's wonderful. It's a great way to learn. And I hope you had a great weekend out there. I'm a little under the weather, but so happy to be here with you. You know, right now we've had futures kind of all over the place. Right now you've got the Dow futures up maybe about 40 points or so, S&P up 5, NASDAQ up 10. We'll come back to that, you know, for sure. It's all about this guy over my shoulder here. You know, are we going to have this little Santa Claus rally for the next couple of weeks? You only got like 5 days left of shopping, if you will. And so is the Santa Claus rally going to get off the ground? Having a slow start for sure. Been kind of slightly inching up, if you will. And, you know, it's all about the currencies. Always has been for quite some time. And, you know, we'll go take a look at the currencies. We'll go around the world, see how things are trading around the world. Had some really wonderful emails and conversations on Friday. Real great emails over the weekend. And last week, what I really focused on was the importance of decisions. You know, simply being able to make a decision. We talked a little bit about, you know, Norman Schwarzkopf, Storm and Norman, if you will. And so, you know, what it's really all about, if you want to, you know, what do you have to do before you make a decision? Well, you know, I always think that what life is really about, it's making the impossible possible. You know, it's all about making the invisible visible. It's all about taking those two little letters off of the front. You can think about this for so many things. How about the unattainable, attainable? To me, excuse me. See if we're going to be able to get through the show doing this. And to me, it's really all about doing that. It's all about really first starting off and identifying, you know, what is your vision? We talk about the importance of having a vision each morning, each day. When you start off your day, what is it that you absolutely want to accomplish? You know, I had a vision of being able to at least get through the first hour today without hacking all over the place. We're going to see how successful I am at being able to pull that one off. That is turning the impossible, potentially possible. But what you want to do is you really do want to start off with a big vision. And we talked about the importance of having that vision. Maybe it's a dream, but you turn that into being a visionary. And now you take that image and you bring that forward in your mind. Yikes. And so when you're doing that, folks, what you want to be able to do is you want to create those visions. You want to be able to do that from really a great state, from a state of being strong, a state of certainty, you know, because if you're trying to create a vision, can you imagine if you're trying to create a vision and you're doing it from a state of uncertainty, a state of doubt, if you will, you're never going to be able to pull it off. But if you're doing it from a state of certainty, a state of strength, it becomes so much easier to pull off. Whether it's trading these markets here, whether it's creating something in your life, maybe it's a business decision that you're making about your own business. Maybe it's not the money business here. Maybe it's about some other business. Maybe it's about a division. Maybe it's about just simply moving. And the question is always, you know, how do you know what is the right decision? And what folks are looking for is certainty. Well, before you even get to that stage, what you want to be able to have is you want to have certainty with regard to the strength and the thought process of what it is that you've got to go through to be able to make that decision. And last week, I just briefly touched on, excuse me, the importance of when you're trying to problem solve, if you will, the importance of having several solutions. You know, what you don't want to do is when you're trying to solve problems, only have one option. You don't want to just have one option. You don't want to just have two options, because if you only have two options, you kind of have a dilemma, right? A or B. Sometimes folks kind of consider that maybe an ultimatum, if you will. You want to have choices. And so whenever you're trying to solve some problem in your life, make sure that you've got 3 or more things, 3 or more solutions, 3 or more outcomes. I like to think of them more as outcomes than anything else. But 3 solutions, and the 4 most important questions that you've got to ask yourself when you are solving a problem are this. Okay? Because what you want to do is you want to focus on the solution, not the problem. Too many times, and I tell the story about the ants. And there's 2 sides to every story, right? I tell the story about the strength of the ants, and I talk about the ants from the standpoint of automatic negative thoughts. I like the strength of the ants to be able to crush those automatic negative thoughts. And it's so important that when you are trying to solve a problem, that what you're focused on is the strength. It's the solution. It's not the problem. The problem needs to just simply motivate you to come up with strong solutions. And what I mean by that is you've got to ask yourself, what's really great about this problem, if you will? Not what's bad about this problem. What's really great about this problem? What's great about this stock market, where today we've already had the Dow futures up and down 150 points. So our average true range right now, our true range today, not average true range, but our true range today has already been 151 points from top to bottom. Volatility, it's here to stay. What's great about volatility in this marketplace? Well, I'll tell you that I can teach you how to make money in a volatile marketplace. And that's what you need to know. So what's great about whatever the problem is that you're dealing with? You know what they say, seek and you shall what? That's right. Seek and you shall find, or ask and you shall receive. That's right. And so all you want to do is you want to make sure that you're asking really quality questions, because here's the deal, folks. You ask a poor question, and what do you get? No, you don't get a poor result. You get that other result, if you will, a really nasty result, if you will. And so you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're coming from a state of strength, because your state, folks, can have so much impact on your ability to see solutions, your ability to be able to make that invisible visible, to make that impossible possible. You then have to ask, what's not perfect yet? Because when you ask what's not perfect yet, you know that means that and I've got to be careful when I use that word perfection, because we don't strive for perfection. It's the lowest common denominator, if you will, because it's not attainable. But maybe I'll have to change that thought process. But, right now, just go with it with me. What's not perfect yet? Because that language, we talked we talked Friday about the word emotion. And I said, what is emotion anyways? And the importance of having emotion in everything that you do. Motion. Forget the E, right? Just forget about unstoppable. Forget the UN. In emotion, it's all about motion. It's all about progress. It's all about moving forward. And you want to be able to understand that your language that you choose when you're taking a look at solving a problem, your language is important. Why? Because it almost is a trigger to your state. Are you going to be in a peak state, or are you going to be in a weak state? We, all of us here, listening in on TFNN, all of us tigers, tigresses, we're all coming from a peak state. And I want to make sure that when you're asking that question, what's not perfect yet, you are absolutely coming from a peak state. The questions, folks, that you ask yourself another question. What are you willing to do to make it the way that you want it? Maybe that's even better than what's not perfect yet. What are you willing to do to make it the way that you want it? And how about a third question? What am I willing not to do to make it the way that I want it? What am I willing not to do? I'm not willing to live in fear and stress. If you're trading these markets, if you're trying to figure out how to really get into the money game, or you're figuring out whether you should make a career change or what have you, you've got to determine what is it that you're not willing to do anymore. Because when you live in fear, when you're making decisions, when you're coming from a state of fear versus coming from a state of certainty, a state of strength, you tell me which one is going to give you the better outcome. That's the reason why so early on, I haven't talked about it for a while, the importance of coming from a peak state. You can already see that I'm changing my physiology, I'm changing my state, I'm plowing through this nasty crud that I've got inside my system. I absolutely should not be here, folks. There's no question about it. But I decided I wanted to be here. Why? Because I love doing this. I absolutely love doing this. And you can either, you just overcome your stuff in life, if you will. And the last question it's all about this, okay? Because it truly is about the journey, folks. And so you already know what that next question is. It's how can I enjoy the process? How can I just simply solve whatever the problem is? So if it's a money game that you're trying to solve, well, that's an easy thing. You've got so many different, in fact, I'm going to read a quick email that I got that came in early this morning. And it just said, Steve, thanks for all your help. You're very inspiring, and you've taught me to pull the trigger when everything lines up right. The importance of using stops and the importance of using money management. Goes on to say one of your listeners recently confessed that he didn't have the money to buy the newsletter. I wanted to tell him that he can't afford not to find a way to pay for it. It's worth every penny. And he says, and I'm a frugal guy. Keep up the great work at TFNN and your newsletter. So, it's those types of emails I get on a consistent basis. Those things spur me to pull myself out of bed no matter what the crud is that's trying to keep me down. This is the first time I've been sick in probably about 8 years. So I am not going to let that pull me down, and because I want to participate in this Santa Claus rally. Now, myself, my clients, if you will, we are participating in this Santa Claus rally. We closed out our short positions. We went long. We're looking for a Santa Claus rally. We'll see what it is that's going to happen. We come back. We'll take a spin around the world. We'll go take a look at the DAX. I've got that up on my screen here right now. The DAX, what's really important, what we'd like to see today, what you and I, and the DAX doesn't close for another 2 hours and 2 hours and 11 minutes. So at 11:30, the DAX will be closed. What you and I would love to see today, doesn't have to happen, but what you and I would love to see today in the DAX, it close about 57.6445. So we want 57.6446. Why? Because that'll set up a nice bullish engulfing right at the bottom. Should engulf 3 candles. Maybe we get even a little push higher and engulf the 4th candle as well. 877-927-6648.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi folks, Steve Rhodes here. Tom O'Brien and I need your help. Together, let's change the cash for gold industry once and for all. Now is the time to unleash the game changer, and that's you folks. We've all seen the power of viral marketing. It's overthrown dictators, and now it's time to rid the thieves in this cash for gold industry. Together, we can change this industry in a heartbeat. You know about our industry-leading payouts, our free tools, our video valuation, and the education that we provide to help folks value their jewelry. Tom and I are experts and the industry's most trusted team. Please join us now by spreading the word to your entire email list. We'll pay you 5% of the total payout, which on average would be $50 per transaction. 100 transactions is $5,000 in your pocket. We'd rather put our marketing dollars in your pocket and more money in your referrals pocket. Go to TigerMetalExchange.com and click on the Become a Partner button to join our team. Let's start a revolution, folks. We can't do it without you. TigerMetalExchange.com, the only click you need to make.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Give the gift of silver. This holiday season, TFNN and Great Panther Silver want to give you the gift of silver. From now until December 30th, TFNN will hold a drawing once a day, 5 days a week, business days only, and one lucky entrant will receive one of these beautiful coins that we will mail to whomever you desire. Winning one of these extraordinary coins could not be easier. There's no contest and no gimmicks, just a simple drawing, allowing you to give the gift of silver this holiday season. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. Futures are up a little bit this morning, and we did have a caller on the line, and guess he had to run, but he was calling about Hero, H-E-R-O, Hercules Offshore, and you've got a 52-week high of $6.99, 52-week low, 2.25%, short interest of 3.5%. Now, I don't know whether Bob was looking to go long, short, or just checking in on the stock. So, let's take a look at it. And one of the things that I like to do whenever I pull up a chart is I always like to take a look at the high volume. Well, there's a number of things, but one of the things that I certainly want to be able to pick out on any chart are the high volume bars that are out there. And so the first one that sticks out is the high volume supply line, if you will, going back to July 28, 2011. Now, I just simply either draw your line from the top and or bottom, if you will. In this case here, I'm just simply drawing it from the bottom because you can see how this has really acted as a supply line, and that each time that the stock has moved up towards that area, it simply has held as a resistance area. Right now, you had the stock close out at 417 on Friday. You had a high there of 424. The volume, you did have some decent volume. You had 5.1 million shares, but that 5 million shares, it is going into that supply line there of 12 million shares. Now, the last time up, you were coming up with 2.7 million. So, and that was on the 5th of December. The time before that you actually came up and you tried to hit that line was maybe on the 16th of September. 3 million shares. The first time up was with 4 million shares. So, what you're going to be wanting to look for, Bob, is you're going to be wanting to, see this thing get above in today's action, if you will, get above this with 12 million shares. Now, one of the other things that's really important to do, let's say you're just taking a look at this daily chart here. Maybe you're trying to create and identify, are there ABC patterns? Are there Gartley buy, Gartley sell patterns out there? One of the other things that you want to always do, let's say you're taking a look at a daily chart, is you want to go at least one chart the other direction. Not meaning down, you want to drill back up. And so in this case here, you'd go from a daily to a weekly chart. In fact, I always suggest that you do that anyways. Take a look at your daily, weekly, monthly, and then drill yourself on the way down. It'll just simply give you a little bit better feel. So when you take a look at this now, what you can see when you talk about supply lines, why was that supply line so important? Well, you can see that this thing here had a high going back to the July 2008 time frame. The stock was up in the $40 range. $39.47 was the high that it made on July 4th, the week of July 4th, 2008. You can see that this thing has been in a sideways consolidation with folks just simply trying to get their some of their money back on this stock. If you go back even further, there was an even larger high that was out there going back to September 2006 when this thing got up to, let's see here, where is that high? Looks like that high is actually $43.89. What did I say this other high was here? This was in the $39 range. Okay, so you can see that this is a stock where there's a whole lot of pressure. It's really when you get into a bull market, if you will, one of the things that you're going to want, and we're not going to be in a bull market here for a while, but when you do, that's when we'll start taking a look at stocks that are where folks are really at the party, if you will, where everybody is in a profit position. Or you're going to want to take a look at a stock like this where you've got a volume at a high so that it can make its way back there. But when I take a look at Hero, which is Hercules Offshore, this isn't anything here that I see that is worth playing at the moment. So let's go ahead and switch over to the. I was showing you before I went to break the DAX that's out there. And what you can see is today the DAX opened up low. They actually opened up at 56.51, trading right now at 57.47. DAX is actually up over the close from Friday. It's up 45 points. The FTSE is down 5 points. You had the Shanghai getting Shanghaied again, down 6 points. You had the Hang Seng down 216, the Nikkei down 105 overnight. And what we'll want to do, the reason why I want to pay attention to the DAX is because it has sort of been leading the market, either on the way down, if you will, on the way up. We've got that market closing, as I say, at 11:30. And from a bullish standpoint, from a Santa Claus rally, we'd love to see it get above the swing point right here. Right here. I'd like to be able to see it get above this, which was Friday's close, and which was Friday's open is really what I'm taking a look at. That would be a nice bullish engulfing that we have out there, engulfing this candle, engulfing the session before and before that. So we'll watch to see how that's playing out here. If we go take a quick peek at the futures market, let's go ahead and pull up the index futures that we've got out here. What you will see here, I think you'll see the Dow futures pop up on my screen. And when you see the Dow futures, we've traded as low this morning down to the 11,696 all the way up to 11,848. Right now, you are trading out at 11,820, up towards the top of the range. And, folks, when we get back, you can give me a call, 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2 week free test drive right here, right now.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose, and then think about this. Now you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Pick up your phone now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, at 1-800-949-8207. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. So call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-949-8207. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 a month. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-800-949-8207. That's 1-800-949-8207.
Did you know that the price of gold is up over 24% this year, while the GDX, the Market Vectors Gold Miners ETF, is actually down 1.4% this year? Not all gold stocks are created equal, and not all gold stocks move with the price of gold. In October, Tom O'Brien recommended a buy of FCX in his gold report, and only 6 trading days later advised his clients to close the position, profiting almost 22% in this one trade. During the same 6 trading days, the price of gold was barely up 5%. Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives investors the inside edge they need to profit in this gold market. Each Monday morning, Tom issues a gold market update at around 9:30 a.m., then issues a full report each Tuesday afternoon. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. To order your gold report with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to TFNN.com today or call 877-518-9190.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
And we're off to the races. You've got the Dow out of the gate up 47 points. You got the S&P up 4, composite up 15, small caps up 7, leading the charge on the way up almost 1% right now. You got the NDX 100 up 11 points, and I've got the ETF structures on my screen right now. That's what you're looking at. If we go take a look at the small caps, we look at the IWM. You know, what you will see out here is you'll see that in the IWM, you know, it made its low coming into the December 14 time frame, was not able to close this gap. It will. That gap is left open, but it's making a charge now up towards the October 27th area. The low there, 74.49. We'll see how it reacts when it gets up there. What you can see here on the small caps, when you take a look at the small caps versus the other ETFs that are out there, I'm talking about the SPYs, the Qs, and the diamonds. Excuse me. What you'll see is a nice, kind of a nice angle, if you will, on its way back up, you know, continuing to make lower highs. Here, when we take a look at the SPYs, you can see this has kind of been a little bit of a sideways move. If we take a look at the Qs are on their way up, still pretty much sideways, if you will. And the same thing when we take a look at the diamonds. Excuse me. I apologize, folks. And if we take a look at what's moving and what's grooving, if you will, out there, you've got MCP. And anybody that wants to call in and be my co-host right now, boy, I'd sure love that. You can take over for that. We've got Molycorp. That is up on the move here. Let's go take a look at that. Molycorp is trading up $1.55, up about 6%. The symbol on that, folks, is MCP. So let's go see what's behind Molycorp, if you will. And I know this has been a favorite of many folks in the den. Now, Molycorp, you know, here's a stock that made a high out here on May 3rd. Did that with 13 million shares. And, you know, we've had a couple of gaps down as we take a look at this stock. If we just simply go from the bottom to the top, you know, and David White was so good to bring this to our attention back in the July-August time frame, even before that, I think it was, of last year. And this thing had a nice run from its open. What you can see in the case of Molycorp, what's so amazing about this sacred geometry, folks, is how this works on a consistent basis. If you go out to the Molycorp when they had their IPO, and you go from the bottom all the way up to the high that it made, what you'll see is right here in this 2645 area, that happens to be the 0.618 area. And what does it do on Friday? It closes, this is amazing, closes at 2643, gets down to a low, 2560, does that on 5.3 million shares, and this morning, obviously, trading up just a bit. But amazing how stocks will come back to those 0.618 areas, and the importance of understanding that sacred geometry when you apply that to your trading. If we take a look at what else is moving, you've got CAT, and let's go take a look at see how they're doing. CAT is up just a bit. Looks like it's trading up $1.25, up 4% from the close from yesterday. Nothing here really significant that I can see behind that move. We've got a stock symbol up here, ZMH. Let's see, what is ZMH? That is Zimmer. Zimmer. Let's go take a look at Zimmer, because that is on my chart here on the lead dog inside the New York Stock Exchange. Zimmer is up a couple of percent here. It's up $1.31 today. So let's take a look at Zimmer. You know, here's another one of these stocks where, okay, so what this thing was doing was just simply coming back to its lows that were established out here back in the October 2010 time frame. 877-927-6648 to get the Dow up 38, S&P's up 3. We'll be back in just a few.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Give the gift of silver. This holiday season, TFNN and Great Panther Silver want to give you the gift of silver. From now until December 30th, TFNN will hold a drawing once a day, 5 days a week, business days only, and one lucky entrant will receive one of these beautiful coins that we will mail to whomever you desire. Winning one of these extraordinary coins could not be easier. There's no contest and no gimmicks, just a simple drawing allowing you to give the gift of silver this holiday season. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how. Hi, folks. Steve Rhodes here. Tom O'Brien and I need your help. Together, let's change the cash for gold industry once and for all. Now is the time to unleash the game changer, and that's you, folks. We've all seen the power of viral marketing. It's overthrown dictators, and now it's time to rid the thieves in this cash for gold industry. Together, we can change this industry in a heartbeat. You know about our industry-leading payouts, our free tools, our video valuation, and the education that we provide to help folks value their jewelry. Tom and I are experts and the industry's most trusted team. Please join us now by spreading the word to your entire email list. We'll pay you 5% of the total payout, which on average would be $50 per transaction. 100 transactions is $5,000 in your pocket. We'd rather put our marketing dollars in your pocket and more money in your referrals pocket. Go to TigerMetalExchange.com and click on the Become a Partner button to join our team. Let's start a revolution, folks. We can't do it without you. TigerMetalExchange.com, the only click you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's just wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648 to get the Dow up 56 right now. S&P's up 4. Composite up 12. Small caps up 7. NDX up 10. And El Dorado Gold, the ticker symbol on that is EGO. I'll have to do the calculations later when I'm off the show. But what it looks like is you've got a possible three-gap play here. And the real importance on a three-gap play, folks, is that third gap has to be larger than the first two gaps. And if we take a look at this on its C to D leg, looks like it still may have a little further to go to complete that leg, and you're gapping down into that D point. But you've got a first gap that took place in the December 9th to the 10th or 11th time frame. You've got another gap that took place here, gap down from the 13th into the 14th of December, and then today we've got a gap down, trading out at 1326. So, but let's go to our first co-host, Kevin in Marina Del Rey. Kevin, thanks so much for calling.
Hey, Steve, thanks for taking the call, man.
My pleasure. How was your weekend?
So far, so good.
Good. That's good. That's good. Now, are you getting ready to? Are you going to be spending the holidays at home, or do you take off?
Yeah, no. Usually I come back to Tampa, but I'm out here, and I'm going to spend it out here.
Oh, perfect, perfect. What did you want to look at?
The T-bills. I know Larry had been talking about that.
Yeah.
And so I was just, I remember he was mentioning something around 17 on like TBT or something, and
yeah. So you wanted to, okay, so if we take a look at TBT here real quick, folks, and TBT is the inverse of the 20-year bond, I believe, here. Let me pull that up. And we're taking a look right now. It's trading out at 1791. And so, I don't know what his, I know that he's been taking a look at the long-term chart on the bonds. And, looking for it to possibly, make its peak. Of course, right now, if we do have a little bit of a Santa Claus rally, I think we're just looking at the time frame of that taking place a little bit longer than this coming in possibly. I think he was looking for a Christmas Eve present with the new moon coming in there. And in order for that to happen, I think he was looking for a price probably less than where it's traded right now at the 1792. And if I just let me try to go over to the actual bond itself, then the 20-year Treasury is actually, is what I'm going to go ahead and pull up, because I believe that's what I think what we typically we'll take a look at the 30-year Treasury bond, but I think it is the 20-year bond that the TBT is traded off of.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and so, ultimately what we'd be looking for, and let me just refresh my screen here for a second, and I do appreciate you calling in. Just simply break up the crud that's inside my system here right now. So, ultimately what you'd be looking for is a butterfly expansion on this, and you'd like to see this get into that 133 area. Right now all that we're doing is kind of in this triple top area. Our point that we're looking at making an expansion off of, Kevin and folks, is really off of the September 23rd, 2011 high when we were up at the 131.3, and right now you're trading out at 131 and some change. So what you'd like to see is actually get a nice big push and make a butterfly expansion. So on the 20-year note, 20-year Treasury bond, what you'd be looking at is getting into the 133 area. If we take a look at what does that equate to also on the 30-year bond, if we pull the 30-year Treasury bond up here, I don't know if I've got that drawn in. Let's see here. Right now you're trading out at 145, and I think we're looking at, give me a moment here, I'll try to draw this pattern in here. So let's first make the ABC, folks. We'd be going off of the low from October 28th all the way up to the high on November 23rd, come down to the low here. So you're looking at the 150 area is what is showing up on my screen. If we go ahead and take a look at whether or not that is setting up a real nice butterfly pattern off of this October 5th area, and it looks to me like it pretty much is. Yeah, so right in there in that 150 range on the 30-year bond, I'm sure is what Larry is probably looking at.
Okay.
So what you want to do on the TBT is you really don't want to, there's not a great way to correlate the exact same pattern to that inverse ETF, because what you've got to do is you really have to make your trading decision off of the underlying, issue that is here, and that underlying issue in this case, either the 30-year bond and the 20-year bond, they're both going to be making these butterfly sell patterns, and but it may not take place coming into Christmas Eve. We just might have to wait till make this a New Year's celebration. All righty?
Now, is the best way to deal with this doing like a TBT or just shorting is that the best way to do it?
Well, it really depends on which marketplace it is that you trade. If you actually trade the futures, then that would be, to me, that's the better place to do it, only because you've got better money management control in place. What I mean by that is, let's say you started to take the trade right now. Let's say it came in right now. You'd have your stops in place, and so your stops, if the trade went against you, would be taken out. Whereas in the TBT, you're dealing with just simply basically your trading hours, unless you're going to put the pre and post trading hour session in there. So, I would always rather trade the currency. I would rather trade the currency pair than trying to trade the currency ETF. I would rather trade the bonds than I would trade the ETF. But many folks don't trade those, and so therefore you just simply have to go with the. It's still a good trade.
Yeah.
But in answering your question, you would always be better off trading the actual instrument from a money management standpoint, because what you want to be able to do, is if you put up a 1% risk or whatever, maybe it's only 0.5% risk, and you're going to add to it if you're in a winning position. What's always nice is that when you can eliminate that uncontrollable risk, that stop being taken out because of a gap, and so you're typically not going to have that unless you are holding the trade on over the weekend. And just simply, I've got some clients, and they are trading currencies. And one of the things that I've taught them is I just simply don't take the currency trades over into the weekend. You just simply don't need to. You can pick it right back up again Sunday night if there's no huge market change. And and even if you lose a few points, that cost of insurance there is really well worth it. So does that help?
It does. Thanks.
Okay, you bet. Hey, Kevin, thanks for calling. I do appreciate it. Have a happy New Year, happy holidays to you.
Yeah, thanks to you.
You bet. We'll look forward to hearing from you. Folks, we'll be right back. We're cruising into our last segment, 877-927-6648.
Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
As Tom says, go long, America. Now you can join TFNN and Barnes & Noble to keep money in your community. Purchase Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, before December 31st from your local Barnes & Noble store. And you will be given access to not just one, but two exceptional archived courses. Tiger Scaling, the Tiger Butterfly, and Gartley. The Art of Timing the Trade is more than just a book. It's an educational journey that will help you understand the Wall Street greed cycle and learn how to recognize profit from genuine price moves. So, for the cost of just under $30, you will receive in excess of $300 in trading education from Tom O'Brien, TFNN, and Barnes & Noble. And you will be helping to support an important local business, your local bookstore. If you do not have a Barnes & Noble in your community, then go to your local bookstore. We'll be sure to work with them to keep your purchase local. So let's support our local businesses. Keep money in your community and get a great education. But be sure to act now, because you have until December 31st to take advantage of this opportunity. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the fourth quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to your trading and investing. The Money Masters. Next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow up 36, S&P's up 1.5, Composite up 5, small caps up 4. The New York Stock Exchange down 27 points, though. NDX up 4. And, you know, we've got the just your normal volatility, if you will. When we opened up the show, we were just talking about how the Dow futures traded down to a low of 11,696 all the way up to a high of 11,857, trading out right now at 11,830 on the futures contract. So 151-point move, even though we're only up 35 points, if you will. Just simply the type of volatility. And, you know, Santa Claus, just simply, the Santa Claus rally hasn't really gotten off to a very good start, you know, and why is that? Why can't we get Santa Claus to move? Well, you know, it is all because of this King Dollar here. It's all because of King Dollar. Unless we see some substantial weakness in King Dollar, we're not going to get much out of this rally. We just simply may move sideways here, you know, for a little bit of time here. Well, you know, if you take a look at what's going on around in Europe right now, you've got the DAX is giving back a lot of its gains. It's only up 28 points right now. And if we take a look at that, you know, right now the DAX is not necessarily what we want to see. We want to be able to see this thing really engulf Friday's candle. That would give us a little bit of confirmation on the Santa Claus rally. But you've got the FTSE trading down 11 points. Again, there's still an hour and a half left in that trading session. If we go take a look at the euro, that's really what it's all about here, folks. It's all about the currencies, pairs, and it's really all about the euro. The euro cannot get out of its way. And, you know, was hoping, you know, I like to use that word hope, right? Was looking for the euro to just simply, you know, when you start the week, okay, maybe you don't mind holding euros so much. It's on come Friday time frame when you don't want to be holding euros, and it'll be really a nice setup going into Christmas Eve, if you will, when we've got the next new moon cycle. Over the weekend, we had a third quarter moon, so you expected to see some kind of low being put in on Friday and just simply inching its way up to the new moon where you could sell that new moon. But what you really want to see on the euro made a low on October 14th. It was a move of a move going back. That's what this red line across the screen here is, and was really looking for the euro to get up, catapult over that December 14th high. So we're looking for the euro to get into the above the 130, 636 level. We see that happen in the marketplace. You'll see the market's up several hundred points here, and all of a sudden start to feel like a little bit of a Santa Claus rally, if you will. If we just simply take a look at the ETF structures, let's go take a look at the shorter term time frame. If I can find that little button here on my screen. There we go, the 10-minute or the 5-minute charts. We'll just see what kind of volume. I don't expect, folks, that we will see much volume at all during the week. So, you know, we'll just have to be careful how we use that benchmark. And all we really need to do is just take a look at what's going on in the currency markets. You know, we can see on the SPYs. So far, it has popped and dropped, if you will. The first 5 minutes, you popped up with 5 million shares. Right now, you're trading down with 2.6 million shares, so you don't have any conviction on the way down. If you take a look at the SPYs, Looks like maybe all it did was just close its gap from the high of the 4 p.m. time frame. That high of Friday, that high was 121.88. What did we get down to? We got down to 121.88. You got to love the way these markets work. So it came down, touched the top of that at the, in the last 5-minute session, folks. There is so much volume that happens on a daily basis. You kind of got to use that one with a little grain of salt. But you did close that gap, and folks, it's been a pleasure being here with you. I absolutely survived. You got to love it. I definitely made the impossible possible this morning. Thanks for being here, folks. Stay tuned. Tom and I'll be up, and then after that, you got Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, David White from 3 to 4, Tom taking it home from 4 to 6. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always